name is Rohall, the Dean of Campus and Community Relations at Ohio University Eastern. Welcome to the 2021 Graduation Recognition Ceremony. As we begin our ceremony today, I ask that everyone stand and face the flag as we play the national anthem performed by Dr. Welcome to our graduates, their families, and their faculty and staff of Ohio University Eastern. Again, my name is Rohall. I'm the new Dean of Campus and Community Relations at Ohio University Eastern. I was hired among 3 other new deans at the Zanesville, Chillicothe, and Lancaster campuses. I'm excited to be here because I believe in this great institution. I'm excited also today because it's finally time to celebrate. We are just now starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel regarding the COVID virus. But most importantly, we are celebrating the graduation of our students. I believe that our students here today should be especially proud. You have completed your education amidst a global pandemic. Today, you can honestly say that you persevered, that you've overcome the extra stresses associated with the illness of friends and family, and in some cases, even yourself. You've put up with the added burden of isolation while continuing the course of your education. You have overcome the challenges brought upon by one of the worst catastrophes facing the globe to date. While this is truly a day to celebrate, I want to take a moment of silence to grieve all those who have suffered because of this virus that has impacted the entire planet. For those people who have lost their jobs because of the virus's impact on the economy, and for those who are still reeling from the impacts of COVID-19. Please take a moment and bow your heads in silence. I also want to take a moment to thank all of the heroes of the pandemic, the healthcare workers who continue to serve, teachers who kept our educational institutions alive, and all of the essential workers who help keep society going amidst the most challenging time. Thank you for your service. Now we can celebrate. Today we will honor all of those who completed the degrees from Ohio University on the Eastern Campus. But this graduation ceremony is not like other ones, you may have noticed. You may have noticed, for instance, that we didn't proceed into this building. You were placing your seats in advance by name and in groups or pods in the stadium. And this allows us to do some contact tracing. Faculty and staff are not wearing robes, wearing other things, but we are wearing masks. And we do have some things to clean the microphone and so forth to make sure that we're safe tonight. These precautions were put in place to ensure the security and safety of our students, faculty, and staff. It also means that we will continue today in a different fashion than previous graduation ceremonies. Let me explain how it's going to go. First, we will continue with a few remarks before we ask our keynote speaker to come forward. Following these remarks, Dr. Sarah Hayes will share about students receiving special recognition tonight. Dr. John Prather will then read the names of our 2021 graduating class. When your name is read, we're going to ask you to stand, and that is going to give our opportunity to recognize each graduate. I will then make some concluding remarks, and finally we'll end with some music. We won't have a procession now. So we're going to do most of what we're going to do seated until the very end. And again, we're not going to process out. We're just going to stay within our groups and then slowly leave within our pods, as they call it. So I'm going to start tonight by introducing our platform party. This is another thing that's a little bit different. We don't have nearly the number of people we would normally have on this stage. First, I'm going to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Angela Wood. We will learn more about Ms. Wood soon, but she is an OU graduate and has since gone on to take a major leadership role in the community. Welcome, Ms. Wood. I want to also introduce a representative of our coordinating council, Ms. Ashley Dorr. The coordinating council includes important members of our community who help us make decisions about our campus. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for your service. I also want to mention again Dr. May Hayes. She will be reading the names and information about students receiving special recognition tonight. I also want to recognize Dr. John Prather. Dr. Prather will be introducing our graduates. Thank you, Dr. Prather.
Thank you, Dr. Rohall. It is my honor to introduce the faculty members who have been instrumental to the training of our graduates. As I call your name, I ask you to stand so that we can recognize you. Dr. Jim Casebolt, Psychology. Ms. Susan Rohall, Early Childhood Education. Dr. Tom Flynn, English. Dr. Warren Galbraith, Social Work. Dr. Mary Winchester, Chemistry. Mr. Tracy Pritchard, Social Work. And Dr. Mark Waters, Biology. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. Next, I'd like to do something again we don't normally do at a graduation. I want to recognize Mr. Kirt. Looking at more about this program. This year he received the Outstanding Administrator Award. And what I want to say that's special about this is this was chosen among the entire, all of the campuses at Ohio University, not just this campus, but all of them, and that includes over 30,000 students, as you know. Mr. Lim is an application support analyst and an IT coordinator on our campus. And in my estimation, as a new person on campus, I consider him sort of the linchpin of the entire campus. He's been instrumental also for our ceremony tonight, as you'll see throughout the evening. Thank you for your service, Mr. Now, the president of Ohio University, Dr. Dwayne Ellis, cannot attend all the regional campus graduation ceremonies, as you can imagine. So he sent this message for us to watch. I will say one thing about it that you may not know. He could have recorded this months ago, and they could have just made a speech and put it out there, but he wanted to make it as live and real as possible. And so we just received it in the last couple of days, so this is a very new message for all of us.
Hello, I'm Ohio University President Dwayne Ellis. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Ohio University, I want to congratulate all the graduates who are here today. Each of you came to Ohio University with a goal of earning your degree and taking that next step in your life. The COVID-19 global pandemic certainly made it harder to achieve that goal and earn your degree, but you did it. You adapted to a great number of changes. You continued to move forward in your academic programs, and you supported one another. I'm extremely proud of each of you. I also am very grateful to the family and friends who supported you in your academic journey. And as you move forward in your lives, remember to always keep learning. Today is not the end of your education. You will continue to learn new skills and grow as a person. You'll also have opportunities to share your knowledge and help others. The skills you learned at Ohio University will continue to serve you throughout your lives. And as you move forward, I hope that you'll always stay connected to Ohio University. I invite you to get involved with our alumni chapters, network with other Bobcats, and return to our campuses for special events. This campus will always be your home, and you are forever Ohio. We are so proud of each of you. Congratulations once again, and go Bobcats!
I almost wanted to say thank you to the president, but I think that would be a strange thing to do to a video broadcast. Next, we're going to move to our keynote address. In a moment, we're going to ask Ms. Angela Wood to come forward. She's an outstanding leader in my assessment in this community and an alum of Ohio University. Ms. Wood is a board-certified behavior analyst and the executive director of the Augusta Levy Learning Center in Wheeling, West Virginia. In 2007, she graduated from Ohio University Eastern with a bachelor's degree in early childhood education. She specializes in early intervention and treatment of young individuals with autism spectrum disorder. She went on to obtain her master's degree in autism spectrum disorder from the University of Pittsburgh. In addition to her work at the Augusta Levy Center, she is a board member of the Mountaineer Autism Project and president-elect of the West Virginia Behavior Analysis Association. She was an adjunct professor at Bethany College and a developmental specialist for West Virginia Birth to 3 and Area Resource Center for Families. Ms. Wood has over 15 years of experience working with parents and practitioners of young children with autism and developmental disabilities. I believe that Ms. Wood is a role model for all of us on how to serve the community with her talents and leadership and reflects the values of Ohio University. Let us welcome Ms. Wood to the podium.
Hello, thank you so much. I want to congratulate everyone from the graduating class of 2021. I cannot begin to tell you how truly honored I am to stand before you and congratulate you on your success. When I was asked to speak to you today, I was so overjoyed. However, when I started to write down this speech multiple times, I asked myself, what knowledge do I have to share with young adults getting ready to brave the workforce and take the world by storm? I continued to ponder this question for weeks. I always came back to the same idea. Not know, but how. Not know, it can't be done, but how is it going to happen? Is the philosophy that has helped me through my many obstacles throughout my life. Today, as I look at my life, I know that, and I know that I am truly blessed. My life in many ways may have not ended up where I had planned, but it is far better than anything that I've ever could have hoped for. See, it wasn't that long ago that I sat in the same seat that you're sitting in today. My family actually sat right over there. I remember my graduation pretty clearly. When I started college, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had switched my major 3 times in my freshman year, and I had originally planned to go to Kent State University for fashion design. But because of financial strain on my family, I decided to stay home and get my core classes, and decided to go to OU. By the end of my first year, I decided to enroll in the early childhood education program. But my sophomore year, I had an experience during one of my classroom observations at a local elementary school that would forever change my life. I had met and helped work with a child with autism. Before I go any further about college and my career, I think it's extremely important for our individual growth to reflect on why we became the person we are today. Self-reflection is so important because it helps us understand our core values, and those values determine how we will face each situation we encounter. The people we meet and experience we have shape our values and beliefs. Each person and experience are like candles to light your path. I am not so naive to stand before you and tell you that each encounter and each experience will be pleasant, but it is what you decide to do with those experiences. that help guide you to a path of passion and personal fulfillment, or a path that can lead you to questioning and regret. Growing up, my parents struggled to make ends meet. My dad was a carpenter and was often out of work. After putting herself through technical college, my mom worked as a secretary to help put food on the table and a roof over our heads. My parents were also musicians, so on the weekends they would play gigs as an extra source of income. When I was younger, I paid a lot of attention to my dad. His music and carpentry were his art, and regardless of the amount of money it brought in, he would practice until he perfected his craft. He taught my brother and I, always give 100% and do what you love passionately. When my parents were playing music, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents and my aunt. My grandmother and aunt are two of the most loving people that you will ever meet. They would go without to make sure that any person had everything that they needed. This is where I learned my love for serving others and compassion. After my parents' divorce, I saw how strong a woman truly could be. Watching a single mother provide for her 2 children is a truly powerful thing. She didn't only make sure that we were provided for, but she made sure that we were well-rounded individuals. She strived to make our life better and didn't allow naysayers to stop her. She did what was best for our family, and even though I didn't know it at the time, she taught me not no, but how. A person was not going to say no, a single mother can't do it, but she would say, this is how I'm going to make this happen for my family. So college was nothing but a dream for me. I started looking at college in the 9th grade. It was very ambitious early on. I had no idea what I was going to do. At one point I wanted to be an MTV VJ, but I don't think anybody knows what that is because MTV doesn't play videos anymore, so that didn't work out for me. But I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't know if it was possible for me to go to college. No one in my family had ever gone to a 4-year college, but it didn't stop me. No wasn't the answer. No, not going to college was not the answer. But how was I going to get to college was the solution. As I said before, I started OUE and decided at the end of my freshman year to commit to the early childhood program. During my sophomore year, I observed a special needs classroom and had my first encounter with a child with autism. He did not talk. He really struggled to sit in his chair or attend circle time. He preferred to be by himself, and anytime he would touch his outer space books, he would get really upset. However, he could tell you every single planet in the solar system and anything you wanted to know about them. And I thought it was fascinating that this child knew so much but struggled in so many other areas. And I went back to my professor, Dr. Thaker, and I told her I felt helpless, and I asked if my placement could be changed. And she told me something that has inspired me ever since. She told me that it is our job as educators to figure out how to make things better, to teach children so that they could learn. Another lesson in not know, but how. Not know this child can't learn, but how are we going to teach them? During my last semester at OUE, I still had no idea what I was going to do when I finished school. Teaching jobs were scarce in our area, and the guy I was dating at the time, who is now my husband, introduced me to someone who worked at the Center for Children with Autism, the Augusta Levy Learning Center. I started an internship at ALC shortly after. This is where I found my passion, and I knew within my first week of my internship that working with children with autism was what I was going to do with my career. The Levy Center is based on the idea of not know, but how. Not know these children can't learn, but how are we going to teach them? We help children reach their highest potential every single day. People have told us, no, the children at our school won't walk, or they won't talk, or they can't write their name, or they won't tell their moms, I love you. They won't dress themselves or feed themselves. Some of them won't tell their parents if they're sick, and they may never have friends. That's just not good enough. Through the passion and the love that each person who works at ALLC that we have for our students, we make those goals achievable. We teach them through applied behavior analysis, and we teach them how they can learn. A few years ago, after working at Augusta Levy, I decided I wanted to get my master's in applied behavior analysis, and I became a board-certified behavior analyst. At the time, there were very few graduate schools in ABA. The closest one to the Ohio Valley was the University of Pittsburgh. I still wanted to work out at ALLC while I was in school, and people thought I was crazy to work full-time and then to go to school 4 days a week and drive back and forth. But it wasn't an option to not work with my kids and still go to school. So again, it was not no, but how. Not no, I wasn't going to go to grad school, but how was I going to make it happen? I was blessed to have my husband by my side, cheering me on and pushing me to do my best when I was struggling to balance it all. I completed my master's and became a BCBA 1 month after my first daughter was born. Afterwards, I became the clinical director of ALLC and was mentored by the founder, Kathy Chappelle. She taught me how to be a leader. She taught me how to be committed to your values while also recognizing the strengths in others and how to help them develop their skills. Know but how is a great philosophy, but at some point in your life, you can't always achieve the how by yourself. You need to have a strong team that consists of individuals committed to achieving the same goals. We all don't have the same strengths, so you need to surround yourself with a group of individuals whose skill set is different than yours. And in some ways, they also challenge you to be the best and do the best for others. I don't think ALLC would have survived the unimaginable if we didn't have that type of team. In 2018, 6 months after I became the executive director of ALLC, we suffered a devastating fire. We lost our building, and we had no place to serve 20 children with autism. We could have shut our doors that day. We could have shut the doors forever. But again, not no, but how is what we said. Not no, our students were not going to go without services, but how were we going to provide them? And that we did that in their homes until we found a new space. Our staff traveled all over the Ohio Valley to provide in-home services to our students. Our students only lost 1 day of therapy following the fire. And because of our community support, we had a fully operating temporary space by the following month. It was a chaotic time, but our love and our passion for our students is what helped us get through. It's also what is helping us get through this pandemic. Now, almost 3 years following the fire, we have officially moved into our permanent home. Earlier, I told you that each person and experience helps light your path, and I'm so thankful for where I am today. I now have 2 little girls. I hope that they don't allow people to tell them that anything is impossible, and that they build their ladder to the stars, and they climb on every single one of them that they wish upon. And they need to see me and others around them say, not no, the world won't change or can't change, but how can we make the world a better place? I face each day willing to learn from others and my experiences. And if you are willing to do that, you will go far. Please remember, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. What an inspiring story. We would like to now recognize students who were nominated to receive special recognition for the work of the year. They come from different programs. Dr. Sarah May will introduce each one of them. We'll ask each student to stand when their names
Thank you, Dr. Rohall. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the students who have received special recognition for their achievements while studying at Ohio University. Each one was nominated among our faculty. I will be reading some of the comments and quotes that led to their recognition tonight. I ask each graduate to stand when I say your name so we can honor you. First, we want to recognize Ms. Sidney Wolgemuth. Sidney is an early childhood education major. She's being recognized for being highly self-motivated, dedicated, and enthusiastic student. She is always fully prepared to engage with her instructors, colleagues, and peers. She is organized and focused, demonstrating a sound commitment to the teaching profession. Demonstrating superior competence in early childhood education throughout her academic program, Sidney earned the highest GPA in her graduating class. She continually strives to improve using feedback to reflect and make effective changes, which is a sign of a true educator. Sidney is kind, caring, and compassionate. During her clinical placements, Sidney worked closely with her mentor teachers and developed strategies that enabled her to build relationships with students and school staff. In addition, Sidney demonstrates a professional attitude and a keen interest in the well-being of young children. Please join me in congratulating Sidney. Next, I want to introduce Ms. Hunter Miller. Hunter is a social work major. She has a passion for working with individuals inflicted with substance abuse disorders. While taking classes, Hunter has been working at Crossroads Awakening, a women's recovery shelter. Hunter started her educational journey here on the Eastern Campus as a high school student. She has embraced the opportunities offered on campus, including undertaking a leadership role in the development of the Student Social Work Club, and has been trained in mental health first aid for adults. Hunter's hard work and dedication will culminate this spring, 2021, as she graduates in 3 years with a bachelor's degree in social work and a minor in psychology. Upon graduation, Hunter will be working with the Crossroads Jail Services Program, where she will be conducting mental health and substance abuse assessments for individuals in the Belmont County Jail. Hunter's Ohio educational journey will continue this fall as she begins classes in the Masters of Social Work program offered through Ohio University. Please join me in congratulating Hunter Miller. We are also honoring Ms. Chance Goolie. Chance is a middle childhood education major. She embodies the teacher we all wish for our own children to encounter and learn from, and my own son did this year. Chance has a superb grasp of her content areas and instructional practices, while also recognizing the importance of relationship amongst families, schools, and communities. It is exciting to think of the hundreds of students who will soon benefit from her classroom community. Please join me in congratulating Chance Goolie. And finally, Ms. Samantha Seevers. Samantha is a specialized studies major. At a 3.967, Samantha has the highest GPA amongst all Eastern Campus graduates. Samantha served as the editor of the Eastern Zeitgeist literary magazine and contributing writer. In the fall of 2020, Samantha participated in a COIL project, which stands for Collaborative Online International Learning, through her cross-cultural communication course, and participated in Ohio International Education Week by creating a video about the COIL project, where she discussed the importance and benefits of being open to and actively learning Best Online Magazine, which she began in the spring semester of 2021. In March, Samantha received the 2021 Celebrate Women Outstanding Female Student Leader Award. Congratulations to Samantha on all of her accomplishments. So if we could have one more round of applause for all of these outstanding students.
Now we will begin to recognize our students who we graduated this year. I invite Dr. John Prather to come to the microphone to announce the names of tonight's graduates. As your name is read, you're going to be asked to stand, and Dr. Prather will read your name, and we'll be able to recognize each graduate at that time.
Thank you, Dr. Rohall. We don't get to have a traditional ceremony. You can walk across the stage. So as I call your name, I want you to stand up, wave at your family if you'd like, do whatever else you feel like doing, right? This is a celebration. So enjoy yourself. All right, so the first person I'd like to call is graduate Associate of Arts, Helen Kukumaris, magna cum laude. With a Bachelor of Arts, Dakota Cooper. Also a Bachelor of Arts, Shelby Dorla. Another Bachelor of Arts, Hannah May. And a last Bachelor of Arts, Alyssa Morrison. Oops, I forgot to say, I can't do this. Hannah May, cum laude. I'm going to do it again. Alyssa Morrison, magna cum laude. We also have 3 graduates with a Bachelor of Science in Applied Management. Chelsea Birch, Julie Doherty, cum laude, and Brittany McGarry. We also have a graduate with Bachelor of Science in Communications, Brittany McGarry. Oh my gosh, I can't even say how many of these are. There's with a Bachelor of Science in Education, Kelsey Chimley, magna cum laude. Abigail DeCesar. Morgan Edwards, cum laude. Gracie Gardner, summa cum laude. Chance Goolie, magna cum laude. Brittany Gromley, cum laude. Matthew McFarland. Leah Now, cum laude. Cheyenne Williams, magna cum laude. Sidney Wolgemuth, magna cum laude. With degrees in Bachelor of Science in Physiology of Exercise, we have 3 people. Lauren Bazzari, magna cum laude. Victoria Crow. Stephanie Imada. We have 1 graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Sport and Lifestyle Studies, Chelsea Birch. degree Bachelor of Social Work, Cagney Campbell. Kristen Carnes. Jacob Carpenter. Morgan Dick, magna cum laude. Ryan Fluharty. Hunter George. Hunter Miller, cum laude. And our final person with a Bachelor in Specialized Studies, Samantha Seevers, summa cum laude. Let's congratulate all of our graduates one more time.
Traditionally, when we do the one thing I would say that COVID has done for us tonight, besides everything else on this here, is that we're really not supposed to sing. That's one reason we didn't sing the national anthem, and we're not going to sing the alma mater, but we do have Dr. Miller Neo, who's going to play the alma mater for us as we listen.
Stay connected to us
we leave. We will be sending information about events and meetings, and I think for the last time in your college career, you're going to hear somebody say this. Please check your email. We will be sending you information. In a moment, we'll end the ceremony with playing some music by Dr. Neal, and at that time, you'll be able to leave your place and join your families. Just make sure to keep on your masks and social distancing. As we finish tonight, we're going to do something, well, it's formal, and this is going to take the place of our leaving in a processional manner, and that's going to be the task